Most Moab visitors just go to the national parks, but those who really know the area also go to Deadhorse Point State Park, and they take a drive up scenic Route 128, at least as far as the Fisher Towers. To get to Deadhorse Point, head towards Canyonlands. They share Highway 313. Take the first left and continue until the road ends. Deadhorse Point State Park is at the end of a several-mile-long butte that juts into and above Canyonlands. It has the only campground in the area with running water, and at the end of the road is one of my favorite viewpoints, not just of Canyonlands, but of anywhere. The lookout is almost 2,000 feet above the Green River. The island in the sky and Mesa Arch are just to the southwest, near the horizon. The dirt road below is the Shafer Trail. It starts in the island in the sky. The gravel continues on for 17 miles until it reaches the Colorado River. To the east, there's a view of snow-capped mountains. Also to the east, you see the colorful evaporation ponds from a potash mining business. On a clear, still morning, Deadhorse Point is another place with the sounds of silence. On a clear day, the view stretches out nearly 100 miles in almost any direction. Because of the harsh climate and rugged landscape, it should be no surprise that this was one of the last places in the continental U.S. to be explored and mapped. This is a favorite place for photographers, and many get there pretty early. One group told me they got here at about 4 a.m. to capture the Milky Way galaxy as it rose to the southwest. But the best light to shoot the canyons is a little after sunrise. Photo tour leaders know this, and there are often crowds of shutterbugs clinging to the cliffs. In the afternoon, the light isn't quite as dramatic, but Deadhorse Point is always a great place to be. Back in the olden days, our folks used to take us on long scenic drives, just for the fun of it. A few miles north of the Moab town center, there's a great road to help you carry on that tradition. It's called Highway 128. National Geographic calls it spectacular. The road S's its way around the Green River for most of the drive. And Moab's a bicycle-friendly town, so there's a paved bike trail that runs between the river and the road near Moab. The closest city to Moab with a commercial airport is Grand Junction, Colorado. This is the scenic way to get there. Just past Red Cliffs Lodge and Resort, the view gets wider. And this is a great place to float or paddle down the Colorado River. Many of the flat areas along the river are used for cultivation, with the help of irrigation from the river. There are many intersecting dirt roads past mile marker 17. Hollywood loves these roads, and they've been using them and the land around them since the 1940s. One road leads to the Professor Valley, which was used in City Slickers, Austin Powers, and many other films. Near mile marker 21, there's a small sign pointing east to the Fisher Towers. They were named after an 1880s pioneer. This is a federal recreation area with a small campground, pit toilet, but no water source. There are a number of hiking trails here, but the main activity is rock climbing. These towers are well known, in part because they were featured in a TV commercial for a bank back in 2011. But rock climbers have been coming here since the 1960s. There are small spires to learn on, and there are much bigger ones for the highly skilled. After another 11 miles northish on Highway 128, there's another old landmark. Pull over just after crossing the bridge. Believe it or not, this relic was the remains of what was the longest suspension bridge in Utah until April 2008. It was then that it was destroyed by a grass fire started by a small boy who was playing with matches. The Dewey Bridge was built in 1916. It had a 500-foot-long wooden driving surface that was only 8 feet wide. In more modern times, it was used as a bicycle bridge. Highway 128 continues past the bridge for another 20 miles to Interstate 70. So if you got a spare hour to an hour and a half, this is a great way to spend a relaxing evening. So when in Moab, remember, there's more to do than just visit national parks. Sure, they're great, but Deadhorse Point and Highway 128 as well as some other places that I'll leave you to find on your own, are well worth exploring.